All right, what's going on, everybody? Week 4, I'm in pain because I have just been garbage all season. Oh my gosh, it's been my mortal locks have been terrible.
You have sent your
it's,
bookie more money than you have
I really have. I
added your
really
account.
have. I'm
So
just
I heard.
absolutely,
So I've heard.
yeah, just just dumping money over here. But yeah, it was a pretty rough week. We all didn't do so hot. Justin had a decent week, I guess, but that
Well,
Oklahoma, Nebraska, that under barely hit. I won that by the skin of my teeth. Penn State, Auburn. I thought Auburn would win this one outright. Boy, did Penn State decide they wanted to play well. We'll get to BYU in a second because I know you got something to say there. The Miami and Baltimore NFL game, the under 44.5, that was a big old L. But I definitely picked Miami to win this game, so I won that one. Ryan had the under. Steelers +2. That was a tough game. The Steelers O-line is so bad. Vikings money line. Yep, I screwed that one up. The Eagles looked fantastic. Jalen
I
Hurts
mean,
is
as a group, we
awesome.
did. There's Vikings money line, Vikings +2, and Vikings money line.
uh, Ryan's lock of Nevada +23.5 lost. That was a weird game with Iowa actually scoring. I mean, they scored 27, but the Wolfpack didn't score any. So yeah, that was pretty rough. And then his NFL lock lost at Indianapolis, Jacksonville under 44.5. That was just a terrible game. Oh no, that won for him. That did hit. Colts and Jacksonville curse continues, he says. Yeah, no, for the rest of us though, yeah, no, Steelers money line I thought that they'd play the Patriots better, but that was just a gross game. That O-line was terrible.
My locks look like the housing bubble of 08. +3.5 for BYU couldn't have been more wrong. And then
Yeah.
Chicago +10.
Oddly enough, my locks were great this past week. I had Bills -9.5, and the
Great
Bills were
call.
unbelievable.
Great
And
call.
Nebraska under, like I said, just squeaked in. So I'll take it.
What started to kill you was Oklahoma backed off and Nebraska started to score some points.
I was like, can we all chill a little bit here? Oklahoma's putting in their scrubs, and Nebraska's like, hey, let's play. No. But BYU, MJ, what would you like to say about the Cougars there?
I wish Justin would come back on here so I could scream at him. Oh, MJ, they're up and coming. They're ranked too low. They're going to have a great win. So I was like, you know what? I'll drink the Kool-Aid. BYU is going to keep it close. Oregon, as I said, I do apologize. I said, you've dressed a turd up in lime green Nike gear, and it's still a turd. Nope, they looked good.
Yep.
So I'm in a mental pretzel about
Oregon
BYU
makes no sense to me.
in Oregon.
Oregon makes no sense to me because I don't. And this game, like we're going to talk about them because I have them on my card this week. It's not one of our picks, but I have them on my card. I am so tied up with Oregon in the fact of this team's either really bad or they're better than we think they are. And I think the next game is going to tell the tale there. I think they have Washington State. And I have Wazoo winning that game outright because I think Washington State's looked really, really good. And Oregon, I cannot get a read on. So I'm just going to go with my gut. But yeah, dude, I have no idea. Oregon and BYU, I have zero clue. I mean, but the way both those games were supposed to go, it didn't look well. So yeah, not a great week, but it's all right. We're going to get back this week. It's going to be great. We're going to do great. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, MJ. Say everything's fine. We want positive vibes here. Everything's fine.
My record's telling me everything isn't fine.
Everything's not.
I am fine. I am 1 for 3 on my locks.
Well,
1 for 4.
On my regular, so Ryan, we'll have to add you to this sheet, but Ryan has like an overall tally sheet with me and Justin of like bets throughout the year.
And to show you how much money you lost? That sounds great.
Very much. Yeah, it's terrible. So overall this year, between college and NFL bets and a few like soccer bets I have tossed in there, I am 10-28. I'm 7-18 in college and 2-8 in the NFL. So I really need a turnaround. I need something to happen. I will give my full card later, but let's go ahead and go through our games of the week. The first one, Clemson at Wake Forest, number 5 Clemson, number 21 Wake Forest. The line has moved to Clemson -7.5, over under 55.5. That's probably changed too, but we'll go with it for now.
I got no, it's still
Justin-
55.5. You're good.
Oh, nice. Justin has the over of 55.5. I can see it. I can see both these teams scoring that much. Clemson and Wake Forest always play each other tough though, and that's what kind of gives me the pause to go with the over there. But I think Clemson's the better team, so I'm going with them on the points -7.5. I think that this is a pretty good call. I liked it better at 7, obviously, but I'm still comfortable with it at 7.5. I think they can win this game by 14 points.
Here's the other thing. I was listening to this a lot this morning. If Clemson, so I took Clemson -7. It's still at 7, by the way. I took Clemson at -7.
You got it at 7.5 for me.
Oh, well, then it dropped to 7. So I mean, ooh, that's not good. It was said today that if Clemson loses this game, there is no shot that an ACC team makes the playoff.
Wow.
There's no shot.
Well, that's enough motivation, I think.
I mean, it might be the first time where we see, I think Georgia and Alabama are going to make it as long as they win out. As long as they win out, they'll make it.
Well, and also Clemson's always looked at Wake Forest as their little brother, and now their little brother's ranked, and they're like, no. Hold on.
Well, and, the one guy in the world that got mad about NIL money was the coach of Clemson, who was just giving out money before there was NIL money. But anywho, this is a game. If Clemson loses it, it has big ramifications for the rest of the year. But I'm confident in Clemson. I'm also taking the -7, and I believe Ryan is as well. Yes.
Ryan did as well. And Ryan gave, this is his reason. He says, time to see which one of these teams are for real. He'll defer to Dabo here as he's been a covering master lately, covering his last 4 on the road and 3 of his last 4 against the Demon Deacons. Wake has not been as solid in coverage, getting to 1-4 in their last 5 as an underdog. Thinking Clemson's defense is the key here. Not really sure the Deacons offense has had a real test yet with Vandy, VMI, and Liberty as their previous opponents. I agree. I think, and great stats. Ryan's going to be, I haven't talked to him about this yet, but I really like the idea of Ryan being like our stat guy and like giving us like these little breakdowns because he's crushing it with these. But yeah, no, I agree. That's a great reason for it. Wake has not been great in coverage. And that whole record of 1-4 as an underdog, not a big fan of that. Next game is, I'm so pumped for this game. I am so pumped. Number 20, Florida at number 11, Tennessee. When both these teams are ranked, it's so fun because this rivalry stretches back for years with Peyton Manning, Steve Spurrier, the coach for Florida. Tennessee is favored at -11, over under 63. I got it at 62.5, and I'm taking the over. I think this is going to be a shootout. This is going to be a fun game in Knoxville. The Barstool guys are going to be there, so the party's going to be crazy. Rocky Top is always just a wild place to be. So I'm going with the over in this game. I do think Tennessee will win, but I'm just not confident that Florida couldn't cover. So yeah, give me the over in this game. Justin has Tennessee though, and he got it at -10.5.
Well, then Ryan has them Florida plus 10.5.
Ryan's got Florida. Yeah.
They couldn't be more
have the over
on
with
their
me.
picks. Yeah, I'm taking I want to see points. I hate betting the under. But
Ryan's little spiel for us here says the trends in this one point to Tennessee, but he's going to go against them here and take the Gators to cover. 10 points is a lot to give in a division rivalry game, just like this one. And though I think Tennessee is legit, I think we see something closer to the Florida that played Utah than the Florida that played Kentucky. I think Tennessee wins, but it may be, as Lee Corso says, closer than the experts think. I agree.
Well, that's the thing, dude. I'm looking at the loss that Florida had to Kentucky. Kentucky's a lot better than we gave them credit for. I remember that week. I think we all picked Florida.
Yeah,
I believe we.
I think Kentucky. It wasn't one of Kentucky's a better team than Florida.
It wasn't one of our picks of the week, but we all picked Florida over Kentucky.
Yeah, it was.
Oh wait, we all took Florida. Me and you took Florida -5, and then Justin and Ryan took Kentucky +5.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, none of us respected Kentucky. No one would take them on the money line.
No. Yeah, but no, I agree with Ryan there. Like 10 points is a lot to give up in a game like this. And these two teams hate each other. Especially when they're both ranked and there's something on the line. That's going to be such a fun game. Number 10, Arkansas at number 23, Texas A&M. A&M is favored -2.5. So I smashed the Arkansas money line. Justin took A&M -2.5. I have Arkansas money line because one, I think Arkansas is far and away the better team. I think Texas A&M, while I know they've laid some eggs, I really think that that's actually more telling of the problems in that program than them just not showing up for some games. I think Arkansas is going to run the ball all over them. I think their defense is better, and I don't care that this is at home. I think the Razorbacks take this one decisively. So I smashed the money line on this one. MJ, you went with A&M -2.5.
I did, man. I think the A&M's problem is they're a team of individuals right now. But the talent they have is still ridiculous. So also I think since the loss to App State last week, that was a big win against Miami. I mean, that game, I don't think it should have been as close as it was, but it was a huge win. And again, trends, looking at my betting history, thank God the app saves everything you do. Anytime I bet for Arkansas, I have lost. So I'm not touching Arkansas.
you might hate this stat a little bit more as someone that picked A&M. Arkansas is 10-1 against the spread in their last 11 September games, including every game this season. The Aggies won a low-scoring affair against Miami last week, even though Miami's not good.
Well, they're better they're better than they were.
Yeah, but they're not Arkansas. So I agree with Ryan where he says, I think the Hogs offense with their huge offensive line is able to break through and score a few more times and pull off the win on the road. That brutal loss to App State, I think still is haunting A&M. I still think they haven't fully recovered from that. This game should be a lot closer, but with the fact that it's A&M only -2.5, I got to take Arkansas here on the money line. So yeah, it's split there evenly. You and Justin got -2.5. All right, the NFL games of the week. Bills -4.5 at the Dolphins. Over under 51. I actually got this game at Bills -6.5, and I still love it. The Dolphins are awesome. Don't get me wrong. I think the Dolphins are here to play. I think they're a legit team this year. I think they're a playoff team, and I think they are the only team that can fight the Bills for that division. That being said, the Bills are the best team in football, and it's not close. They are far and away the best offense. They've got everything going for them. Stephon Diggs was a nightmare in that Monday night game. I just think the Bills are too much to handle. And me, Justin, actually, this is a total lock. So if maybe fade us here, everybody's got the Bills in this one, covering the spread. So maybe fade us. But MJ, why do you like the Bills?
Because the Dolphins aren't good.
I disagree.
They're not. They're
not. Baby.
No,
I don't want them to be good because my brother's a Dolphins fan, but they're good.
No, stop. It's not like Tua was throwing accurate passes and thread the needle. He was throwing to wide open guys in completely blown coverage. Okay?
Gotta hit the guys.
There's a reason they were down that much. I'm just saying. There's a reason they were down that much. And then they got lackadaisical, and the Ravens defense is not as good as it was last year, or looking back at the history of Ravens defenses. And then the first week they played the Patriots, who everyone knew was not going to be good. I'm sorry. Bill Belichick is not the mastermind.
Well, I never, even when they had Tom Brady and were winning Super Bowls, I never picked New England when they're in Miami because they just don't win there. I don't know why. They just don't win there.
No, I'm sorry, man. Is Tua good? Is he better than he was? Yes, because he finally has an offensive coordinator that believes in him, a coach that believes in him, and finally the Deshaun Watson rumors are completely done. That was hard.
He can just focus on going out and balling.
Yeah, and I want him to get better because I like Tua as a quarterback, but they are not that good. They played the Patriots, who they've always had the number, and the Ravens, I don't know what happened, but you're going to play, like you said, far and away the best team in the league is the Bills. And
no one's close.
Their offense is ridiculous, but now you have Von Miller is coming along with that defense. I think Tua is going to be on his rear end. I'll correct myself, rear end quite a bit. And I watch. We all pick the minus. We're all going to lose, but
I think Dolphins are going to win outright now because of this.
No, I honestly think the Bills win by at least 2 touchdowns.
I can see it. I don't think it's close at all.
They took 0 steps back. They only get better every year. Josh Allen somehow gets better every year, which is great.
This to me is the Bills year. They are so much fun to watch. And I got to tell you, my in-laws in Western New York are they're feeding off this. They are so happy. My wife's grandparents once, you never get in between an Italian grandmother and church, like Christmas mass. She once was late to midnight mass because the Bills were in a playoff game. So they are Bills fans. But yeah, that's going to be a fun game to watch. Next NFL game we have is Packers and Bucks. Packers are going to Tampa Bay. The Bucks are favored -3, but Ryan says that line has moved to -1.5 now. Over under, I got it at 41.5. This game sucks. There's two of the best quarterbacks that have ever played, but are playing terrible football. In fact, I have both Brady in my one league and Rodgers in my other. I have benched them both this week in favor of another quarterback because I don't think either of them look good yet. And I don't think they're going to look any better playing each other. I'm taking the under in this game. I don't see this going any more than maybe 35 points total. So yeah, Justin has the over. He thinks that they'll score enough to cover, but no, I've got the under here. Ryan's got the Bucks -1.5, which fine, because it's -1.5. Whatever. If you're going to take someone, take the Bucks.
We take it at what we took it at. It's -3.
Yeah.
They need to
-3.
cover 3.
All right. So what did you have?
I took Packers +3. I just think Brady's not playing like himself. Evans is now officially suspended. He's not coming back. Also, the conspiracy that Runyon did this for his son is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The absolute dumbest thing I've ever heard. But anywho, Godwin's not back, and I believe Julio Jones did practice today. I want to say yes, but still, I don't think that's going to be enough. Brady, it's Scotty Miller. That's who he's throwing the ball to. So no, and then, like I've said since the start of the year, now Lazard being back last week helped, and the fact that they played the Bears, but Rodgers still has nobody to throw the ball to.
Well, you ready for this? This is Ryan's lock of the week in the NFL. He thinks that the Bucks are absolutely a lock. He says he's deferring to TB12's win-loss record against the Packers. He's 5-2 against Green Bay, even though he hasn't really played them often in his career. He's going to defer to the GOAT. But again, I have no idea because both the GOAT and what we think is the most talented QB that's ever played are not playing well. So I really have no idea. So I could go with you or Ryan on this. So that's why I went under. And then our final NFL game of the week is the Rams -4.5. I got it at 3.5 at the Cardinals. Over under 51. Justin and I and Ryan all took the Rams points here. So we've all gone Rams -3.5.
Bold move.
I think it's a safe bet to go. I mean, Rams are a weird team where they play better on the road than playing at home. And I think they can do enough to beat the Cardinals, who still haven't really hit their stride. James Conner is also questionable, so we don't know if he plays a full game, even if he does start. That's a big loss for them because he's been a great back for receiving coming out of the backfield there.
I also think the Rams have the defense to keep Murray in check too.
I think so too. I think they can be good QB hawks and keep them back there.
Because that was the one, if you look at last week when they came back against the Raiders, the one thing leading into this season was the Raiders defense. It is not good. Like, I mean, you can get as mad as you want to at Carr in the offense, but they still scored a ton of points.
Yeah.
And their defense just gave it up. So
MJ, who do you have in this one?
I took the over. I think a lot of points are going to be scored. I also have Cooper Kupp on both my fantasy teams, so I hope a lot of points are scored. I hope both points stop fighting. I hope a lot of points are scored, and it's lining up to be that way. Like I said, I don't trust.
The only thing that concerns me about that is the Rams being able to lock down Kyler Murray, because if they can, then the points may not be as high coming from Arizona. But again, if they can't, these are both gunslinging offenses.
Here's the thing. We've seen what happens to a frustrated Kyler Murray. He starts making dumb plays.
And has the new COD come out yet?
Yeah. Well, the new beta. And the Rams defense, if they can get they might be able to score themselves the way he throws the ball away sometimes. So,
well, let's go to our locks for the week. Justin's college football lock is North Carolina -2. Who's North Carolina playing?
Notre Dame.
Oh, that's right.
He bet against Notre Dame.
He bet against the Irish. He's got UNC -2. And honestly, is it in North Carolina or at Notre Dame?
In North Carolina. Notre Dame's going to be 1-3.
Then I kind of like it.
Notre Dame's going to be 1-3. Right. That's happening.
His NFL lock is Chiefs -5.5. I like that too. I think the Chiefs they're right up there with the Bills. Not as good as the Bills, but they're up there. My locks for the week, I've got, like I said, Arkansas money line. I just think, I think that's just such a lock with how A&M's been looking. I think Arkansas is more of a total team. And then my Steelers are my lock for the NFL tonight. I think the Steelers and Browns take the under. This is an AFC North game. It's going to be very low scoring, and it's going to be won by a field goal like it usually is, especially with these two teams who have sputtering offenses right now. The Browns defense hasn't looked great, but again, the Steelers offense hasn't looked great. So I don't think that really matters. I think it cancels each other out. I think this is like a 14-10 kind of game, maybe. So that's kind of where I see that going. MJ, what are your locks?
Also on the Steelers, if Mitch starts out slow, Kenny may come in.
I don't know if they do it this game. What I said was, I think if we lose this game, and if we lose this game convincingly and Trubisky has some picks, I think then we see him start next game.
I don't know. We'll see. They were already chanting Kenny last week, so we'll see.
They're very impatient.
Yeah. Also seemed like a lot of blame was being put on Tomlin last week too, from the players.
Yeah.
Like that the plays being run weren't to win the game or to get
well, and that's open. The thing too. They were giving Matt Canada some grief too, which I do agree with that, of the sense of there seemed to be a lot of broken plays. There seemed to be a lot of moments where the ball could have gotten to some wide open receivers, but they decided to go like a screen way, or it just was very weird. It didn't seem like they were fully prepared for what they were playing.
By the way, I hate Ryan's college lock. Who is watching the Louisiana Lafayette game? Who
are they playing?
Who? I don't even know.
Find out. Who are the Raging Cajuns playing?
I took Michigan -17 because I think Michigan and Ohio State are just far and above the best two teams in the Big Ten. It's not even close. I also don't like Maryland.
They're playing Louisiana Monroe. That's why you took it.
God, didn't they just get
well, no wonder it's a lock.
Didn't they just get destroyed by Alabama? They just lost Alabama 63-7, I believe.
I think that was Louisiana Monroe that got beat. He has Lafayette. He's picking Lafayette to kill Monroe. And I think Monroe got killed by Alabama.
Yeah. They Alabama almost covered at 59.5. Just want to say that. But Michigan, I took Michigan -17 because I don't respect Maryland at all. They haven't been good since they've come to the Big Ten. And this, again, I think this is the first year where it's truly the Big Ten is like the SEC. There's the two teams at the top, and then there's everybody else. I think this year there's going to be no trap games for either the Ohio State or Michigan. I think they're going to run through everyone. And as long as when they play each other, the game is close, there's still a chance that they both make the college playoff.
My concern with Ohio State is they didn't play very well against Notre Dame. And that was game 1 of the year, but that has stuck in my mind of, I don't know yet if Ohio State are world beaters like we think they are. I still think they're the class of the Big Ten, but I'm going to need a few more weeks just to see if they're like as dominant as we think they are.
I mean, what will happen is every year when one Big Ten team makes the championship, they get destroyed. But anyway, and then my NFL lock of the week is Jags +7. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have such a huge step this year. Lawrence was that good in college. I think the atmosphere of the Jags last year was so disastrous that even a seasoned quarter. Yeah, Urban Meyer as their coach last year.
No. Who are the Jags playing?
Oh, they're at Chargers. I think Herbert's still a bit hurt. So even if he plays, it might be limited snaps. Except +7, I'm going to take that. But again, I think the Jags are moving in the right direction. They finally have a good coach. Peterson's great with young quarterbacks. So I think we're just going to see week by week Trevor Lawrence just get better and better. And that's a team I believe that's a year or two away with some trades and some draft picks because they don't really have any great receivers right now. Once they can put some talent around Lawrence, I think he's going to warrant being the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I like that. Do you have any more games that you put on your card for this week, or are you just betting the ones we? I have 2 more games.
Okay.
I've got Iowa State. I've got Iowa State -2.5 against Baylor. I know Baylor's ranked 17th, but Iowa State is favored and they're hosting Baylor. I like the Cyclones. I think that they are an underrated team. I don't think people are taking them as seriously as they should. And I'm going to go with them here, especially -2.5. I really like that line. And then my other one, which was almost my lock for the week, because I really am high on Washington State. I've got Wazoo beating outright Oregon. The money line was at +225. I think that's great value. I think that Washington State has looked really, really well. They beat Wisconsin. They destroyed Colorado State. And, you know, I just think that they have a much better defense, and Bo Nix on the road is garbage. So again, but knowing Oregon, they have proved that they could either be the class of the Pac-12 or the basement of the NCAA. So I have no idea who's going to show up, but I like Wazoo here outright. And those are the two that I added. I was going to get WVU, but apparently in the state of Virginia, you can't do that. So But I like West Virginia -2.5 tonight for what it's worth.
I was like,
for what it's worth, I like them tonight.
Anyway, the other two from college I was really looking at. I think Penn State's going to be riding high after the big Auburn win last week, which may cause them to not take Central Michigan seriously, or, you know, even if they're worse than you, which they are. So I'm going to take Central Michigan at +28. I think they can absolutely keep it within that stretch. And then
they got to start Chad Powers. Did you see Eli Manning went undercover at Penn State?
Oh, it was great. It was great.
That was beautiful. Chad Powers. I love it.
And his commentary the whole time. And the other game,
the fact that when he was running the 40, I like that they interviewed I think it was like the QB coach for Penn State, and he was just like, you know, I got a little suspicious when he kept going, yeah, just got to go fast. You just got to go fast. As he's running the 40.
The other game I'm going to take, Kev, is Texas -7 against Texas Tech. I think
like
Texas, their only loss is that Alabama game, which was really close, and they got.
That's a W. How well they played them, honestly.
There was some questionable calls. We'll leave it at that. Other thing, if I was going to bet this game as well, is the overs at 61. I think that gets well exceeded.
I think so too. This is a high scoring game.
Yeah.
Is this the Red River? Oh no, that's
Oklahoma
Texas.
And Texas Tech.
Right? Yeah, it's Oklahoma.
That's the game forever. That was at 53 points with 4 minutes to go, and the over was 73. And Justin was celebrating, and then they scored 91 points together.
It's just unflippin' believable. I actually love the card this week. I hated the card last week. I thought it was really, really tough, but I think this is a much more enjoyable weekend of games. So it's a bounce back week. It is a bounce back week. I have been horrible through 3 weeks of football. I will do well this week. I will it. I have gone opposite of everything I've picked this week. I am just fading myself and going with it.
Other thing I want to mention is I'm still doing my $5 all overs at noon. So we'll see how that. I missed it by.
I love that.
Last week I had, I think there was 11 noon games. I was 8 of 11. It was close.
I'm gonna try for the next couple weeks to if Ryan can have it ready early. But I'm riding Ryan's big dog parlay all year. Ryan puts together every year a big dog 3-leg parlay in the NFL every week, but he does it every year. And so like the past couple of years, I've just been riding them, and I think it's hit twice a year. And it's great when it hits. So
by the way, man,
we've been close already. So
looking at the NFL slate, there was games I was going to bet on, but as I look at them more, like I'm in 2 pick'em leagues every week, and I'm having, what the hell was that? I'm having trouble just looking at some of the games, like the Falcons Seahawks.
Yeah.
Buccaneers Packers, 49ers Broncos. Garoppolo's back, so they're playing much better. Rams Cardinals, Jags Chargers, like even Saints Panthers.
Yeah. They're tough.
The only things I'm confident are the Bills, like we've talked about. I think the Eagles are going to blow out the Commanders. Bengals, Jets.
Here's the thing, though. Is the Eagles game at Washington?
Yes.
Here's my concern with this game. I do think the Eagles should blow them out, but I also think this could be the #1 trap game. It's the first time Wentz is facing the Eagles in the same division on a different team. He's got a guy in Curtis Samuel who's looked incredible. I think this could be a lot closer than people anticipate, but the Eagles are far and away more talented. So Jalen Hurts should just take them up and down the field.
By the way, why is the Ravens Patriots only at Baltimore -2.5?
It's just going to be a gross game in general. I don't even want to. That is
Also,
disgusting.
even kept Lions and Vikings. Wait, I don't. Minnesota -6. Did they watch last week?
Dude, Minnesota. They made me
And
so
Detroit's
angry.
playing tough.
For the fact that I have Dalvin Cook on my fantasy team, and he has been a non-factor in any game.
Swift
so
is averaging 10 yards a carry right now.
Yeah, he's a stud. And then
He's
you've
averaging
got
10 yards a carry.
Although, speaking of great Lions, Amon-Ra St. Brown has been getting me buku points.
Oh, he's crushing it, man. He's crushing
He's so
it.
good. He's so good. And
Dude,
his brother,
then here you go.
Brown's been great.
Raiders, Titans, both 0-2. Basically, whoever wins this game might turn their season around. Whoever loses it, they're in trouble. They're
Yeah,
in big
pretty
trouble.
much. Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't. Oh God, it's weird. The NFL is very odd this year, where it's like the Bills and then everybody else.
Well, that's the other thing, man. Like normally, if you like this year, I was thinking as long as you bet against the Jets or the Texans, you'll win.
Nope. They have proved that so wrong.
And the
Davis Mills apparently is serviceable.
Or the fact that the Chiefs are only -5.5 versus the Colts. The Colts have shown nothing.
Colts are gross. In fact, thank you. Quick shout out to our pediatrician who gave me the approval today to take our baby to the Steelers Colts game on our way back from Thanksgiving. Indianapolis is halfway, so we are going to go to the Steelers Colts at Lucas Oil. Yeah, I actually was devastated. I was thinking that game's going to be devastating for the Steelers. The way the Colts are playing, the Steelers could win that game. So who knows?
Jonathan, there's a lot of fantasy owners that want to throw their computer through the wall.
That guy was supposed to be the guy. So yeah, that's not great. But yeah, that's the slate for this week. Justin will be back next week. He told us he would. And I mean, whether I believe that or not is another thing.
Man, just so you know, I spent real money on what I sent you. So if she could wear it, that'd be great.
Yeah, my stupid childhood friend sent me a Eagles onesie, which will be getting sent back to him.
Whoa!
In due time. So
no. Also, did Justin tell you about the one I sent him?
No.
It says, "I can't speak yet, but I know I'm not supposed to like Dallas."
That's pretty great. No, someone sent Kateri a great Steelers outfit, so we're gonna deck her out tonight.
The fact
watch
that
the Steelers and the Browns.
Dress your daughter in trash bags is ridiculous.
Hey, she's the cutest thing ever. Cutest Steelers fan alive. All right.
No one's arguing that, Kev. Then why would you put her in garbage? Is just beyond me.
I'm ending this cast. Everybody have a great weekend. Good luck, and we'll see you next time.